Hola a todos. Today, we're going to review the preterite and the imperfect. We'll do an interpretive task for the IPA, the second IPA, and then we'll look at another function of preterite and imperfect. Para empezar, tenemos un ejercicio para repasar usos del pretérito y el imperfecto. Dice pretérito o imperfecto. Dice si el verbo subrayado está en el imperfecto o en el pretérito. Si está en el imperfecto, explique por qué. Los verbos subrayados. Now, at this point, I'd like to ask that you pause the video, answer the questions. You don't need to formally answer them, write them down. You can if you like. Okay, you can just answer them in your head, and then we're going to review them together. 1. Mariana trabajó en el supermercado por 10 años. El verbo está en el pretérito. Now, I look at this action as having a beginning, it's having an end, 10 años. Okay, it's a completed past action, a specific slice of time. We're going to use the preterite in that case. Fuiste tú al partido de béisbol? This is a specific event in the past. You can see it as having begun and ended. Specific event, we're going to use the preterite. Yo tocaba la guitarra en la escuela secundaria. In this case, we have a habitual action. We're going to use the imperfect. Cenamos en un restaurante muy elegante anoche. Okay, otra vez, again, we have a specific event in the past. We're going to use the preterite. Finalmente, mi abuela era muy alta. My grandmother was tall, very tall. This is a description of a person. We're going to use the imperfect. Imperfecto para descripciones de personas, cosas o lugares, people, places, and things. Okay, at this point, I would like to jump to our worksheet. And let's talk about the IPA number 2. I'm going to do an interpretive task today. And for this, you're going to download from Canvas the interpretive task reading document. The link will be posted below the link for this worksheet on Canvas. It'll be right there. And you're going to use it, read it first, and then answer the questions according to the information on that. It's some information about a cultural event in Peru. And there are 4 sections. Okay, continuing, let's take a look at the uses of the preterite and imperfect. When relating to a past event, the actions can be described in one of 3 ways. Acciones simultáneas. Las dos usan el imperfecto. Una serie de acciones completas. Todas usan el pretérito. Una acción en progreso mientras otra acción interrumpe. La acción en progreso usa el imperfecto. La acción que interrumpe usa el pretérito. Por ejemplo, Roberto cantaba en el concierto cuando de repente perdió su voz. A ver todos. When we have 2 simultaneous actions, both will use the imperfect. So we have the imperfect and ongoing action, another ongoing action. A lot of times we'll use the word mientras, while, to express both of them. Por ejemplo, yo hablaba por teléfono mientras mi esposa trabajaba por computadora. We have 2 activities going on at the same time. Remember, in this case, the imperfect use will translate to was or were plus ing. Yo trabajaba, I was working, mientras mi esposa miraba la televisión, while my wife was watching TV. Different example, but you get the idea. Okay, we talk about a series of completed actions. Okay, so eventos específicos en el pasado, specific past events. We'll use the preterite for all of them. Esta mañana tomé café, me vestí, me arreglé, y luego trabajé en casa un poquito. An action in progress while another interrupts can be seen as this. You've got your action in progress, interrupting action. Imperfect, preterite. Por ejemplo, yo trabajaba en casa cuando sonó mi teléfono, por ejemplo. I was working at home when my telephone rang. O, otro ejemplo, yo caminaba en la calle cuando vi a mi vecino. I was walking in the street when I saw my neighbor. Okay, so we got our background action, then the interrupting action. Okay, imperfecto pretérito. Okay, dice selecciona la forma apropiada, el imperfecto o pretérito. Okay, so now I'd like to ask you to pause your video while you complete the activity on the worksheet. And you have spaces, it looks like I'm going to need to add those spaces, okay, which I'll do right here. Okay, you'll be able to see them. The activity will be labeled with acomprobar uses of the preterite and the imperfect. So I'll get that taken care of. Now, let's go through it. Mientras tú veías la televisión, yo dormía. So here we have two simultaneous actions. While you were watching the TV, I was sleeping. Cuando Paco llegó, Carolina estaba escribiendo invitaciones. Okay, so here we have an interrupting action, which is when Paco arrived, and we have the interrupted action, which was Carolina writing invitations. Primero, los niños rompieron la piñata y después comieron los dulces. So here we have two completed past actions. First, they broke the piñata, and then they ate the sweets, the candy. Néstor preparaba la comida cuando venimos. Okay, so here we have the interrupted action, which is him preparing food when we arrived. The interrupting action there. Tomamos un café y empezamos a hablar. So we drank coffee and then we began to speak. Okay, so we have two completed past actions. And when we talk about beginning to speak, the emphasis there is on the beginning of an action. And, momentito. Actions can be seen as having a beginning and an ending. Excuse me, and if the emphasis is on the beginning or on the ending, we're going to use the preterite. Tomamos un café y empezamos a hablar. Okay? Now, if the emphasis is on an action in the middle of it without a clear beginning or ending, then we use the imperfect. Hablábamos, we were speaking. Okay, at this point, we're going to go to a textbook activity, and let me pause while I pull up MindTap. Ok, estamos en el libro de texto, página 292. 292, actividad 9:12, fotos y descripciones. Now, at this point, you will use the worksheet to answer those 6 questions, just as they appear in MindTap. Okay, so it's just you're selectioning, dice empareja las oraciones con las fotos, estas fotos con las oraciones. Okay, so we'll put the answers here, and I'll be posting the answers after the due date for this activity. Okay, uno más. Más pretérito versus imperfecto. Dice, fill in the blanks with the correct form of the verse in parentheses. Keep in mind the different uses of preterite and imperfect for 2 simultaneous actions, a series of completed actions, and 1 action in progress when another begins. Okay, so with this one, you'll just tap your right here to give your conjugation of the verb, okay, the preterite or the imperfect. Okay, es todo para hoy. Gracias y adiós.